You're watching another edition of the NFL Daily Mailbag. I am Will Scott answering your questions live here on Chat Sports. And before we start answering your questions, I want to know, who's your favorite team? Go down in the comment section, shout out your favorite NFL team, and let me know down in the comments. I know producer Jack Lauderay is a Patriots fan, so feel bad for him. They might be last in the division this year. That's okay. They have a lot of Super Bowls. Shout out your favorite NFL team. Go down in the comment section. Let me know. We begin with Roman Ham. First question saying, what are the chances the Falcons draft Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon and Jaylen Hazelwood in the third round? That's a great question. Christian Gonzalez probably going to be on the board there when the Falcons pick first round. I actually saw a mock draft the other day that had the Giants trading up and getting Gonzalez. But that would be after the Falcons pick. So the Falcons certainly need some secondary help. Christian Gonzalez would be a fantastic pick, and I do like the fit there in Atlanta. And then Jaylen Hazelwood. It depends on if he's available in the third round, but he could also be a good fit for the Falcons. I do like what the Falcons have done here in the offseason, Roman. They just got to get a quarterback. Maybe Ritter's the guy, maybe not. We'll see. Chua Lore, we appreciate the question. How should the 49ers address their secondary? Yeah, that's a good question. They lost Jimmy Ward. That's a need they're going to have to fill, and I expect them to do that in the draft. I'll say this. When I'm looking at some potential draft targets for the Niners, Garrett Williams might be a guy in the secondary that they can get second round, and I'll look this up as well because I did see Jordan Battle linked to the San Francisco 49ers. I do like him, the safety out of Alabama. Battle might be a more realistic draft target, Chua. I could see Battle being drafted by the 49ers. He'd be a great Jimmy Ward replacement. Hasbulla 2024. I think that's something we can all get behind. Where does Jalen Carter land? That's a great question. Adam Schefter tweeted this out earlier. Georgia defensive tackle Jalen Carter is visiting the Bears today. It is his second visit, with him already having visited the Eagles. Carter's agent, Drew Rosenhaus, said he is declining visit requests for any team drafting outside the top 10 picks. I'm confident Jalen will go in the top 10, Rosenhaus said. He's a good person, a family man, loves football, and is a generational talent. Sounds like an agent. Carter was invited and plans to attend the NFL draft later this month in Kansas City. I'm not disagreeing with the generational talent part of that, but there's certainly some red flags when you're talking about Jalen Carter. I saw a mock draft yesterday. It still had him going top 5. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think he's going to go middle to late first round. I do. I think he's going to fall. He did not have a good pro day. I think if he had a good pro day, that would be changing my thoughts there. I would say mid to late first round, maybe 16th or 20, something like that. Who is going to draft Jalen Carter? Go down in the comment section. Let me know. It is the pinned comment on today's video. So when ad break comes, go down and chime in. Who is going to draft Jalen Carter? Brady, what's up? Any chance Mac Jones is not the Patriots quarterback? Yes, Lamar Jackson. That's the only way. I don't see a world where Bailey Zappi or someone they draft this year goes in and beats out Mac Jones. It would have to be Lamar Jackson. And Meek Mill apparently said Lamar Jackson wants to be a Patriot, and then Robert Kraft was like, well, it's going to be up to Bill Belichick. So I haven't heard a whole lot more. I haven't heard a whole lot of noise on that front since those comments. But yeah, the only chance that Mac Jones is not the Patriots quarterback is if Lamar Jackson is. I will say that. We got Andy saying, is Jack Campbell a huge reach? 27 for my Bills. Andy, we appreciate the super chat, my friend. No, he's not a huge reach. I really like Jack Campbell, the linebacker out of Iowa. Fantastic talent. Getting a lot of buzz. Won the Butkus Award this past season for best linebacker in college football. He's a great player, and I could absolutely see a scenario where the Bills take him at 27, and you should be very happy with that because I know the Bills need some help there at linebacker. Lion Fighter X, another super chat. We appreciate you, man. Jalen Carter is coming to Philly. It is possible. They have 2 first-round picks. I mean, can you imagine, Lion Fighter X, if the Eagles somehow get Jalen Carter and Bijan? I mean, would that be wild? It could happen. It could happen. We'll see. I mean, you could trade up for one of them, too. So maybe take Bijan at 10 and then trade up, get Carter at 17, 18. We'll see. But Jalen Carter to Philadelphia is certainly a possibility. Fastbender 45. Should the Titans trade up in the draft or trade for Trey Lance? That's a great question. The Titans have been linked as a team that could trade up to number 3 overall, with the Cardinals moving back. But if I'm the Titans, would I rather have Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, or Trey Lance? That's the question you have to ask. And Trey Lance, I think, would be cheaper than trading up and taking Levis or Richardson at number 3 overall. So you look at the ties there, too. I mean, Ran Carthan was in the Niners front office. Now he's working as the Titans GM. I think I'd go the Trey Lance route. I still think Trey Lance has a lot of upside. He just has to stay healthy. And I think he has to be in the right situation. Should the Titans trade for Trey Lance? Type T for trade or type P for pass down in the comment section. Go down and let me know as we get into our next question from Anthony Alvera. We appreciate the question. Is the price for Lamar too much for teams? 2 first-round picks and $200 million guaranteed. Yeah, that appears to be the problem right now. Is not only are you having to give Lamar Jackson over $200 million guaranteed, but you're also having to give up multiple first-round picks to get this done. But at the same time, it's not often that a franchise quarterback who's won an MVP, who's proven, who's won a lot of games in this league, becomes available. And it's weird that, no teams are interested. I think it's low-key collusion from the NFL owners after the Deshaun Watson contract last year. Teams not wanting to pay him fully guaranteed money. But again, Lamar's come out and said he doesn't need fully guaranteed money. So we'll see what happens. I also think Lamar not having an agent is certainly playing a factor there. RC Plane Builder 2 saying, where will Matt Ryan end up? In retirement. I do not think Matt Ryan is going to play again. I mean, clap it up for him. Heck of a career. That close to a Super Bowl. Won an MVP. But he's just washed, man, unfortunately. I do not see him playing next year. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe because we're always going to bring you the latest news, rumors, and more. And especially with the draft coming up, we're going to have you covered with a lot of draft content. So subscribe and turn on your notifications as well so you know when we put out a video. Matt Crawford, next question, saying, what would a Brian Burns extension look like? Does Jalen Hurts seem like a guy to take less money to let the Eagles build around him? The 2 good questions there. I mean, Brian Burns is going to get paid, man. And there was a lot of talk at the trade deadline that the Panthers were going to move him. They opted not to, and I think that was a wise decision because he is a very good player. You're not going to get a player like him very often on that defense. So I think that extension is probably going to pay him north of $16 to $17 million per year, maybe 4-year deal, something like that. And then Jalen Hurts, in terms of a pay cut, maybe 45 instead of 50. But either way, Jalen Hurts is going to get paid. Every once in a while, you'll see a QB take a pay cut, but I think a lot of it's going to come down to that first quarterback that gets extended. Is it going to be Hurts? Is it going to be Burrow? Is it going to be Herbert? Is it going to be Lamar? That quarterback is going to set the market. Neil Aurora saying, what will the Titans' 2023 season look like? Wide receivers, draft options, and record. You need wide receivers. I think you got to draft a wide receiver. Quentin Johnston, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Jordan Addison. I try to land one of those 3 guys round 1, Neil. In terms of if you don't trade up for quarterback, certainly a possibility. The record, shoot, man, it depends on who the quarterback is. If you got Ryan Tannehill out there, 7-10, again, you have to move on from Ryan Tannehill. But at the same time, Neil, that division is still pretty weak. Now, the Jags have gotten good. The Texans have gotten significantly better this offseason. The Colts might be in the Lamar Jackson mix here. So that division is gettable, but it's gotten tougher in the past year. So I would say 7-10 for Tennessee as it stands right now. James Branson asking, should the Seahawks draft a quarterback? I'm guessing you mean round 1. I read something the other day, and it's probably fake news, that maybe they trade up for Anthony, or maybe they draft Anthony Richardson at 5. Like, I don't see that happening. I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense for Seattle. Geno Smith was great this past season. I would just let Geno kind of cook for another year or two and then see what happens from there. But I would say no in terms of drafting a quarterback round 1. Now, in terms of round 2, and you get Hendon Hooker, sure. But you should not be taking a quarterback in the first round. Should the Seahawks draft a quarterback in the first round? Again, they just gave Geno a 3-year contract. Why for yes or in for no down in the comment section. Go down and let me know. Andy, Bills Mafia, favorite wing flavor at Anchor Bar and blue cheese a must. Man, gosh, I'm trying to remember, Andy, what my go-to was. I think it was the lemon pepper. Any wings at Wonder Bar are fantastic. But I spent some time, Andy, in Buffalo when I went to college at Syracuse. Went to a concert in Buffalo one time. Wanted to make it out to the Bills-Dolphins game. It never happened, unfortunately. But Buffalo's a good spot, man. I enjoyed spending some time over there in Buffalo. Shout out to Andy for super chatting a couple times today. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. We go live every Monday and Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time.